Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Luna Crossings and in today's video I am building a nature trail. I wanted to start off by saying thank you all so much for 2K. I can't believe how quickly I hit 2K. I'm shocked. I'm so happy that y'all are liking my videos and want to see more. Your support really means so much to me and I'm honestly very, very grateful. And I'm really excited to announce that we are so close to getting memberships. I'm gonna try to get everything prepared this week and memberships should be available next week. Never ever feel like you need to get a membership, but if you choose to, I can't express my gratitude enough. Any type of support is really appreciated. Again, thank you all so much. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And with that, let's get this build started. So this is the area that I'm working with. This is on a cliff, but it doesn't really matter where you decide to build it. So I wanted a trail to loop around a center island. Also for reference, this is to the left of my entrance. I also have these two bridges at a right angle of one another and just some tree stumps and grown-in weeds where I want them. In this center part, I'm going to build an island with a cliff. So let's get started on the terraforming. Like I said, I'm just starting to build up this cliff. A river is going to flow around it, so in order for it to fit this area, it has to be a small cliff. If you're building this on the 3rd level, you can leave out the cliff and just have a mass of land in the middle. I really like this particular cliff shape for smaller cliffs. I think instead of a completely circular shaped cliff, these look a lot more natural to me. Then I'm going to start waterscaping, starting at this waterfall over here. There's areas around this trail that are decorated, so don't look at them, okay? Spoilers! But anyways, I was having a really hard time shaping this river. I wanted there to be enough space in front of this ramp, but also enough space on the other side to fit stuff in front of the other ramp. So basically I set myself up for quite a challenge because of where I placed the stairs. But anyways, I'm just bringing the river down so that it can start wrapping around the trail. Like I've said before in my videos, most of the time I like to make a general outline of where I want the terraforming to be, then I round the edges to make it look more natural. I feel like if I terraform along the way, it's a lot more frustrating to get the shape that I want. However, I knew I wanted a tree on the island, so I accounted for that, and I also knew that I wanted the trail to get pretty close to the edge of the cliff. So I'm just accounting for that, and I'm shaping the river more than I usually would because I do have a pretty good idea of what I wanted this area to look like. But as you can see, I'm still really struggling with the terraforming here, which is why I like to make a general outline usually. So yeah, this is where the tree is gonna go. I'm a fan of these octagonal shapes where the tree goes right in the center, so that's what I'm trying to do. I picture that shape a lot when I'm building. That shape can be moved around anywhere along the bottom of the cliffs. I'm so bad with words and explaining things. I hope that makes sense. I know it probably doesn't. So I think that you can start to get a sense of the terraforming here with the trail on the outside. I did something similar in my mountain overlook video where I had an island with a cliff on it, so that definitely inspired this build. So yeah, I'm just connecting the river to the bridges and shaping around this island. I wanted there to be large bits around each side so that I can add a lot of items to them. Doing this can add a lot of dimension to your build rather than just adding everything on top of a cliff. It kind of connects the top and bottom of the build. And I like to add pieces of land in the middle of rivers or bodies of water to add a bit more pizzazz. So yeah, this middle cliff is now completely shaped, so I'm going to start focusing on the outside where the trail will be. But first, I'm just finishing up the waterscaping by finishing the other side of the bridges. The left bridge, I don't like how it doesn't go into a pond or something, but it is what it is. That side of the beach isn't accessible anyways. So here's the finished terraforming. I'm starting decorating by placing trees where I want them to be. It was a large area, so I added a lot of trees. Then I'm adding the grass path under where the decayed trees are gonna go. I really like the decayed trees. They're such a good space filler, and they go especially well on a forest core island. Also, yeah, there's tree stumps around. I love the tiny ones, they're so cute. And I just like to add those along the path because I try my best to add a lot of texture, I guess, to my paths. It just feels more realistic to have a bunch of stuff lying around on a nature trail. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, some of these items I'm using are not natural. I've definitely struggled with forest core because I feel like there are actually not a lot of items that you can use. On my last island, I liked that you could use all sorts of items, and now I feel really limited. But anywho, I'm starting the path. I want this path to be really narrow like you would see on an actual forest trail. Pathing really does take forever, but at least we can use our phones to do it. It's much easier once you learn the pattern that the codes are placed. So I'm having this path get really close to the edge of this cliff here, and yeah, I'm just gonna continue all the way around to the other ramp. So I'm curious what y'all would be interested in if you were to become a member. I already have some events planned that I think would be fun, and I'm currently working on a Discord server, so you'll have access to private channels and custom emojis. Also, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do it, but I'm getting better internet soon, and I'm considering streaming. Would y'all like that? Do you prefer videos or streams? I can definitely see why people would like videos more because they're a lot shorter and more organized, but let me know what you would prefer. I'll probably do a poll on it, so be on the lookout for that. I'm so excited for memberships, honestly, it's gonna be so much fun. But anyways, I'm still doing pathing, of course. What can we talk about while we waste time? What did you do today? How's the weather? What did you have for lunch? Small talk, you know? I'm obviously really good at it. But pathing really is the best part of doing a build. Don't y'all agree? It's just so much fun. I am a complainer, in case you haven't noticed. Oh, so as I was doing pathing over there, I didn't like the shape of the river on that side, so I just fixed it. That's what I was talking about in the mountain overlook video, about shaping the rivers to be uneven, like rounding one square, then leaving 3 squares, then rounding forward again and leaving 2 squares. I'm going to be doing tips and tricks videos, and will hopefully be able to explain a bit better how I terraform and waterscape, and also tips on decorating and item combos. Also, I'm super excited for next week's video. I hope you all like that style of video, because I'll hopefully be able to do a lot of them, and I'm excited to see how it goes. I also am going to try to start posting 2 times a week in a few weeks. It takes me forever to edit videos right now, and I'm still learning everything, but I'm hoping I can get quicker editing and get them out sooner. I really want to try to give you all as much content as possible, but yeah, I'm just finishing up this pathing, thank goodness, and I'm wrapping the path around the tree trunks, and now the whole trail is finished, and here it is. Now I'm going to start decorating. I'm starting on this end near the waterfall and adding a tree's bounty lamp. I like adding the white variation around because I think it looks like little berry bushes. I also added these toy ducks here and a line. I really appreciate whoever was first to think of this because it's just so cute. Then over here I have a lumber yard on the bottom level of this cliff, so I just continued that area up here with the wheelbarrow. That is a huge tip I have, is to decorate your cliffs like you're continuing your design. Don't look at that chunk of land as a cliff, just picture it as part of the level you're working on, and add as many items as possible, even if it doesn't make sense. On each side of the bridge, I added log stakes facing different directions to add more variation. And I'm adding a bunny, of course, and over here I'm adding a bird bath. Next to this cliff, I'm adding the bamboo noodle slide. I absolutely love the bucket on this item. Can someone please mod this to be its own item? Pretty please. It would look so cute with the Senmaizuke barrels. Now I'm adding a water puddle under each single waterfall and adding the winter standees to make the water look like it's splashing and is not just ending out of nowhere. And of course, I love to add wheat fields behind trees. On the island, I'm starting with adding a tiny library in the green variation, and I'm adding a bird nest on the outer side of the island near the ducks. And I went back and added the decoy duck in the front of the line of the toy ducks. And in front on the island, I'm adding a mush log with this gyroid on it. This is definitely my favorite gyroid. It's so cute. I love the neutral colored gyroids. And up on this cliff, I'm adding this wooden plank design and putting the green garden wagon on top of it. I'm also adding this butterfly model. I like adding them on the edges of cliffs. I don't like that you can see the base, so by putting them on cliffs, it just makes it a lot less noticeable. And on this jutting of land, I'm adding another tree's bouncy lamp. And now that most of the items are placed, I'm starting by adding plants around. I said in my floating neighborhood video that I like to be conscious of where I put the bushes with flowers and try not to put anything large in front of them or it can look too busy. Yeah, I'm just filling up the remaining areas with flowers, crops, and weeds as per usual. I always try to evenly spread out my flowers and crops so the same ones aren't near each other, but sometimes it's hard if you are limited to a certain amount of flower variations. So sometimes it doesn't work, but we try our hardest here. And I'm adding a hyacinth on this piece of land on the waterfall. I specifically like to add hyacinths on areas like this because I like the height of it and it makes the piece of land actually look more narrow, which I like. I'm putting codes down on each side of the bridge because you can't add items here. And now I'm going around and adding dirt patches for the saplings to stunt the trees. I'm alternating which color dirt I use to add more variation. I'm adding a fence here near the waterfall. I like this fence because it matches the log bridge. And I'm adjusting my terraforming as per usual to add the fence here. I'm adding a stick on top of this branches code, and I noticed that I needed some more items over here, or it would just be cluttered with plants, which, let's be real, it already is. But it's forest core, okay? I'm justified. Also, I don't know, I just decided I didn't want this fence down here, so I replaced it with the wild log bench, and I like it much better. So back over here, I'm adding the ruined seat. I want to try to add more of these around my island, and I ignored my tip about butterfly models going on cliffs, and added one here because I didn't know what else to add. And I'm adding a mum cushion on top of this puddle. I also like this combo of adding this crack code with the mushrooms or even the acorn and pine cone on top. I also add that code under shovels. I really like that combo. I'm excited to do an item combo video. I think it'll be very helpful. But anyways, along this side, I'm adding some brick and adding this garden bench. Now I'm adding the round mushrooms on top of the bird nest and starting to add things along the path, like the pile of leaves, acorns, pine cones, picked crops and flowers, star fragments, and probably a lot more. All look good on a path depending on your theme. So yeah. I forgot to decorate the back of this cliff, so that's what I'm doing. It's mostly weeds back here, but where you can see, I'm adding bushes and a Cosmo. Now I'm adding some vines along the cliffs. And decorating this cliff up here. I wanted the fence along the back and just fill the rest of the cliff with foliage and a wheat field, and this build is completely done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post. And I just want to give another big thanks to every single one of you for 2K. I'm so grateful, and I'm really excited for memberships, and I hope you all are too. And with that, I just hope you have a fantastic day. See you next time. Bye!